Welcome to the Sarah Scoop Show. It's time to get the scoop with Sarah.
Hi, I'm Eva Bourne, and I play Clara Stanton on One Calls the Heart. When I got the script, at first I was really a little bit nervous actually because we had a new showrunner coming on, and he was already from the beginning quite collaborative. But when I got the script, I realized that there was a lot of comedy that he had written for Clara specifically. And I haven't really gone that route yet with Clara. So it was intimidating but exciting. And I was ready to kind of take on that challenge. And so far, it seems like it's paying off. Like everyone's been enjoying seeing that side of her. So yeah, it's been a fun ride so far. So yes, I think this season definitely Clara has a lot of ups and downs, and especially with her marriage. It was so fun to play so many different levels. I feel like she has definitely been able to play colors in the past, but this season, for many reasons, our writers, as well as John Tinker, who is our new showrunner who came on board, there was just so much room for all of us to play. And it was really exciting for me to be able to, in one episode in her arc, she was, playing the humor, playing the comedy. And then, by the end of the episode, there's a tragedy going on. So that was really exciting and fun for any actor, and especially for me to play. So in regards to tapping into a new side of Clara, some new characteristics, I think it was great and really smart for John to bring Fiona, Faith, and Clara together, because I think with those characters all playing with one another, especially for Clara, she is kind of starting to get a bit of gusto in her. And like you're saying, playing so many different sides and aspects of her characters really coming out and shining. And I think those two characters, specifically Fiona and Faith, kind of bring out that side of her, to really take charge of her life and to stand up for herself when she's not happy, and to say, things need to change. And that's not so much what we've seen in the past, because I think that, similar things continue to happen with Jesse. And there's always sort of a time where they kind of come back together, and they work things out. And of course, they do in this season as well. But she's finally kind of saying, okay, this isn't working. You need to leave. And that's such a huge pivotal moment for a character like Clara, who is very prone to forgiveness immediately. So, yeah, very fun to see all these different sides of her, and to especially have these new two characters who are, acting as her support and her friends. I'm so happy that they have like a little girl gang now. So fun. Yeah, when both of I think Aaron and I, when we both read that script, and we read the scene at the end, we were like, okay, because it really, we didn't know where this would lead to, because especially for Clara, who has been working multiple jobs for years in order to, sorry, there's the hi. In order for her to, actually obtain the future that she wants. And with Jesse, she's, been saving all of this money. It's not just his. And for her to find out that there was a break in the trust is a huge deal. And so reading that, we were a little bit like, where is this going to go? What does this mean for us? But of course, we kind of came to the conclusion, let's just play this. Let's just give it our all, and, really give justice to this moment, and for what these two characters have been working so hard towards for so long. And then we'll just like see what happens after that. But it was really fun. It was a really fun scene to shoot because it was so different from what Aaron and I usually are accustomed to when it comes to like, bickering. Okay, favorite episode season. It's hard. They were all so unique. Yeah, it was actually a really, really fun season for everyone, I think, for all the characters. But let me think. Oh my gosh, so hard to pick. Okay, well, there's a wedding coming up. So I feel like those are always fun to see, the whole gang together, and also to see well, there are a couple episodes before. I don't know if I can pick just one, but there are a few episodes previous to the wedding where you get to see, the two characters who are going to be married, them connecting a little bit more and having some really beautiful moments together that we haven't necessarily seen from these characters before. So, yeah, very exciting. Can't just pick one, sorry. There's so many. I think, probably my favorite moments from this past season, season 8, I think just the first episode. It's always so fun to come back together, and then to really dive into some comedy. Actually, okay, okay, I might change my mind. Sorry. Um, I think maybe okay. First episode, yes, of course, and then there's some more barbershop stuff coming up with Clara. So I think probably those moments were some of my favorite because we finally get to see her dipping her toes into something different, and perhaps it will be another job that she takes on. We'll have to see. Oh my gosh, that was a pretty fun scene actually. I don't usually work with Johanna that much, so it was really fun to play with her a little bit more. I know when I read that, it was so funny because I didn't think that a straightening iron had been invented yet in that time. So I was like, but it made sense for it to be easy for her to just be able to pull that thing right off. Yeah, I mean, we haven't heard yet if we have a season 9, but fingers crossed. I think for Clara, with this past season, I think we've started to see all of her true sides come out and, really start to develop. And so I think what's fun about Clara is I think she still has so much room to grow. And so I'm really excited to see what our showrunner and our writers come up with for her. I am really hoping that, you know, they sort of stay on the path that they started in season 8, where yes, Clara and Jesse have a lot of time together, and you see their marriage, how they're handling that. A new marriage is, very difficult, and obviously they're showing everyone that the difficulties right now. But I would like to see them kind of get back to where they started, which was a friendship. I would like them to, have some fun together, play. And then in regards to both of them, which yeah, writers had done a lot this season, was to have, Jesse and Clara have their individual lives outside of their marriage as well. So I would love, I've definitely had some conversations with John Tinker about season 9 and where Clara might go. I don't know if that will happen or not, but yeah, he's so great. He's so collaborative with all of the actors on the set. But I'm really hoping that she perhaps continues with the cafe, but starts on a new endeavor, perhaps some kind of like invention, or like a happy accident or something like that. So I'm definitely hoping for her to become a bit more um, business savvy and finding new strengths. And then, yeah, I'm sure Aaron has given you lots of ideas for his where his character can go, so he can answer that those questions. I think that in regards to Clara and Jesse having a baby, I would say I think they need to just like pump the brakes for a little bit. Perhaps maybe, reach out for some help in balancing their communication skills. So I think that they have a lot of work to do. And why not like enjoy one another, enjoy this new marriage before throwing a kid into the mix? So I'm hoping that a baby won't come right away. And I mean, I can't speak for them, but I think that the two characters next to have kids would be Rosemary and Lee. So I can see that story happening more so than I can see Jesse and Clara having a kid. Perhaps definitely down the future if the show continues on, but I think for now they should just focus on the marriage. Yeah, I've been on since the beginning, I think like the first, second episode of season 2. So it's so funny. It sounds like we've been doing this forever, but it doesn't really feel that way. And I don't know, maybe that's because each season that we come back, we have, so many new storylines, so many new arcs to play. But I'm so grateful for it. And I really, this show, this cast is quite unique. I've worked on many different shows and I've never seen this camaraderie that all of the actors have with one another. So it's a really special and unique situation. Like it makes it easy to go back every single year. And I think that everyone else would say the same thing as well. And I mean, it's weird. Like I've kind of grown up on this show now, and developed many skills and really have been so blessed to have watched so many great actors do their thing, and take like little tidbits of knowledge from them, and it's just fun. Like we get to go back and it's exciting to to like know that you're just going to hang out with friends. You go get to like hang out, work. You always are like wanting to go and spend some time in the hair and makeup trailer. Even, generally if it's a long day and we're stuck in our trailers, generally the choice that everyone picks is to go and hang out in the green room on set where everyone else is, and or they go to the hair and makeup trailer and hang out with whoever's in there as well. So it's really been like a family experience at this point, and yeah, it makes it so easy to go back to. So I first auditioned for the show. I think it was for Julie. I think I auditioned for Julie, and that was like I think that was well, I guess a year before I had auditioned for Clara. And at the time that I auditioned, I was working on another film, and I wasn't able to go for that specific day when they were holding the auditions for Clara, and I kind of just let it go. And then they came back and they were willing to make another time work for me to come in. So I went into the room, and I worked with the casting director, and she kind of gave me a little bit more information as to the genre of the show, and sort of the actual like the feel of it, the tone, which was different from a lot of Hallmark shows that I had worked on or that I had watched. And she kind of let me do my thing, and then I left, and I really didn't think anything about it. because I was just busy. And then I think, a couple days later, my agent just said, they want to offer you this role. And I accepted, obviously. And yeah, and that was pretty much it. And then the whirlwind began. Ooh, favorite couple. I mean, I'm sure that everybody has picked them already. I mean, Lee and Rosemary are probably the most fun to watch. Um, and I'm also going to say that I really am enjoying seeing Florence and Ned's romance start to blossom. Because I think that it's something that they've, been kind of playing and sort of like sneaking in there for the writers to pick up on for so long. So it's been fun to see them, finally kind of have this courtship with one another. So yeah, I'm gonna pick. I mean, I feel like Lee and Rosemary, classic couple to choose, but I'm gonna pick Florence and yeah, and Ned. I feel like this is the question that everyone wants to know. I It's so hard. I mean, I'm definitely team Kevin and team Chris. But in regards to characters, probably it's so hard. Like I really during this season, especially, I went back and forth so many times. And even really in season 7, I was constantly going back and forth from getting one script to the next. But I think I choose Lucas in terms of their compatibility. They both have like this really true love for storytelling. Um, and I think he's able to support her in that sort of artistic sense that we still like, we don't see so much of it. Obviously, seeing more and more and more of it with her writing this book and being published. But I just think that he's a great support for her during all of this. And he's just such a gentleman. So, and not that Nathan isn't as well. They both have their strengths, and they both have sides of compatibility that would work with and with Elizabeth. But I'm gonna choose Lucas. I think really I've become good friends with everyone. I mean, we all really stay in contact with one another, like texting and sending gifts and all that. I mean, I would say that just because he's my partner in crime, that Aaron and I are probably the closest, but I've really started to become quite close with, and we were close before, but even more so now with having more time with one another on set. With Kayla and with Andrea, it's so hard because I mean, really, like I have relationships with all of the cast, and different, of course. Like my relationship with Pascal, we've become quite close as well, and check up on one another quite often. But yeah, I feel like I'm connected with everyone, but the relationship just continues to grow throughout the seasons. Oh my gosh. I It's so funny. I haven't really been watching a lot of television lately or movies. I did just watch Soul, which was so good. Um, but I mean, I kind of I'm one of those people who will rewatch, favorite series. I recently just rewatched Parks and Rec, and it's so good. And then I recently rewatched The Good Place, and then watched the final season of that. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. I mean, I feel like there's so many shows and films that I love. Like I love watching really old classic films. I love Barbara Streisand. She's just icon. Love Audrey Hepburn. could watch like Funny Face or Sabrina any day of the week, or Funny Girl, love Funny Girl. But then, oh my gosh, and then there's like 90s classics like Love Clueless. Like, I don't know, I'm probably going to continue on and on. But yeah, recently the series that I usually have been rewatching, like classic The Office, or yeah, Parks and Rec, or The Good Place. Yeah. Upcoming projects. I mean, honestly, with everything going on, and we finished filming in November, I have kind of just taken a lot of the time that we have for hiatus to get back to things that I've been kind of putting off. Like I'm still, reading scripts, of course, and choosing ones that I'd like to audition for. I had a couple of projects come in that I ended up just saying no to because I sometimes you just don't click with the script, which happens a lot. And then, but yeah, right now I've kind of just been committing some time to community service, which I've really been wanting to do for a long time. So I've been doing a lot of volunteering, which has just felt so good, especially in a time right now. And yeah, so that's really what I've been focusing on. Just kind of, I have all this time, so why not, give back? So that's really what I've been doing.
Thank you for watching The Sarah Scoop Show. Head to sarahscoop.com for more.